Ah, good morning, everyone. This is Royce coming back at you with yet another story about my misspent youth. Not necessarily misspent in the ways that youth often is, but misspent in the way where I make boneheaded decisions and pay moderate to severe consequences for them. Today is a special one just for you. I call it the Fable of the Flayed Fingertip. It was autumn of 2010. I almost said 2010, but that's not how you say it. Yes, it was 2010. We were halfway through the first Obama administration. A couple of fantastic video games had hit the market. Fallout New Vegas. I believe that was the year Call of Duty Black Ops came out. It was either Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2. Remember, Call of Duty was doing yearly releases back then. I lost my corncob pipe, so unfortunately you're not going to get the folksy demeanor this time. I doth apologize. Anyway. So, I was a junior in high school. And, as high schoolers often have to do, I was taking woodshop. Now, I am not a handy person. I am a creative person, not necessarily talented in the arts. I mean, my writing is derivative at best, and I have never been able to draw a straight line. My penmanship makes doctors look like calligraphers. The sad thing, though, is that I actually come from a long line of people with good penmanship. My mother has very good penmanship. My grandmother on my dad's side actually is a professional calligrapher. She has made several greeting cards. Anyway. She had a small business, making personalized cards and stuff. Anyway. But I was in woodshop. And given the title, you already can guess where this is going. Now, this was our first big project in woodshop. We were building clocks. And that might sound complicated, but this wasn't like an actual, cuckoo clock. This was a box with a clock mechanism just glued in. You put the little, you put the spinner through a hole, and you glue numbers around around for the hands to go through. There are a great deal of woodworking tools in that shop, because remember, this is Glenwood Community High School, one of the best schools in Iowa. My parents literally chose to live in Iowa, a 30-minute drive from the breadwinner's career, because it was the best school district. My parents can both have their selfish moments, but this was genuinely for our benefit. So I need to illustrate to you that the Glenwood Community High School was a very good school district. There were some internal politics there. There were two main groups of kids who went to Glenwood. The children of the wealthy farmers and the children of commuters, the people who worked in Council Bluffs and Omaha. And of course there were locals who just were part of the local economy, but I feel like a majority of the kids fell into those two groups. I, of course, was in the latter group. My mom was a computer programmer for Conagra. Oh, Lord, I really do look awful. This is why you normally don't see this part of me. I normally have you chest up. I look like... good God, I look awful. Ugh. Your words don't penetrate me, but my own reflection does. My Gorgonian visage is not for mortal eyes, not even mine own. Anyway, back to the story. So, I was working at this, I think they call it a radial saw. It's a circular saw, and you use it to cut, or you use it to cut through small planks of wood. And you can, rotate it so that you can get, do they call them bevels? Beveled edges or something? Edges. You can get, you make the edge go straight or horizontal or diagonal. Well, there's no... A horizontal edge is not what... No, a horizontal edge you use a planer for. Anyway. You can make it... You can make it perfectly vertical, or you can have it go, diagonal. And so, the box we were supposed to make is two normal rectangular, two rectangular pieces, a front piece, and then the top and bottom are both trapezoidal in shape. It's a very typical, minorly decorative clock design. Two trapezoids facing each other, two flats, and then three flats. It's basically a cube with the back not there. So I'm cutting those, and my blade is getting choked with sawdust. Now, I don't know why I did this. My only guess is that it was the morning and I was tired and hadn't fully waken up yet, because you see, my brother had taken to doing this thing because I snored. I have sleep apnea. That's why I have a CPAP machine. But I snore. So, and my brother and I shared a room because it was a 3-bedroom house. Mom, my sister, and my brother and me. I was promised my brother and sister would share a room. Because, the oldest should be the one to get their own space. They're the first ones to hit puberty. They're the first ones to, feel the compulsions. They need their own space. No. The boys can have their room, but our dear precious daughter needs her own room. And, I get it. Girls have a rough time going through puberty. I get it. But anyway. Anyway. So, but because I would snore when I sleep, my brother had a hard time getting to sleep. So, anytime I would get sleep for him, he would snap really loudly 3 times. That's a little closer, but I don't know. Somehow he did it so that it was so loud and it woke me up every time. I still have a PTSD, a Pavlovian response of whenever I hear that, 3 snaps in a row. It hurts my soul in a way I can't describe. But that is just trying to foist the blame on someone else, pass the buck. Y'all know what's about to happen. The blade hadn't finished rotating like, it was off, but the blade was still spinning pretty fast when I was just trying to, like, from the side, when the edge of my fingerprint on this side, here, you can kind of see it still. Well, it's not focusing. Gets shaved off. The whole half of the top of my finger here, like right here, just gone. And because I'm going at it from the side, it splatters the white hoodie of the kid behind me waiting in line to use the buzzsaw, or, the radial saw. I'm curious what his thoughts were when he saw me lean in like that. I see what happened to my finger, and I'm a very prudish person. I don't like cussing, because cussing is a display of anger. It is not a display of stupidity. It is a display of anger. It is what is the term I'm looking for here? Brain is jelly. It is a not so I unpack my adjectives. Interjection. It is an interjection and an adjective to display the enormity of something. So when I started cussing, it was so loud, because I've got a loud voice. This is me at what I would call a room volume, and it's pretty loud. So when I say I yelled. They say my voice still echoes through that part of the high school. Expletives that you would not say in front of your mother. And amidst many an F-bomb, our shop teacher, Mr. Shoebauer, or as they called him, Shooby-Dooby-Doo. And when asked what a Shooby snack was, he replied, a chicken strip covered in nacho cheese. One day, I need to try that. One day, my friends, that will be on the menu. I need to find the best chicken strip, though. He, of course, took immediate notice and guided me to the sink to wash my bleeding hand. And I was like, and of course, you have to remember, undiagnosed depression. And blaming myself, making a mountain out of a molehill. I'm just like, when I'm a grandpa, my kids are gonna ask, how did you lose your fingertip? And he's like, oh, it's not that bad. Washing my hand. And first off, very bold, 16-year-old Royce. Very bold of you to assume that you're going to be a grandfather. So I had to go to the doctor after that, because he realized that this was not a cut. This was, in fact, a chunk of flesh missing. The doctors looked at my hand and were like, well, do you have it with you? Nope. Okay, so we're not going to stitch it back on. We're just going to bandage it up and let it heal on its own. So they do that, and they have to give me a tetanus shot. Now, I've gotten used to shots by this point. Like you get your flu shot, it's whatever. They pull out the biggest needle I've ever seen. This is not a shot. This is a turkey injector. And they stick it in my arm and twist. I've never had a bad reaction to a shot before, but my arm hurt for weeks after that. And, but so my finger's bandaged. I don't have to go back to school that day, thankfully. It seems like I always manage to find a way to get out of going to school in the dumbest ways. Oh, I was in a car accident. Oh, I've got a horrible illness. You know, this and that and the other thing. I've had so many weird not going to school days. One day I'll have to catalog them all for you. It takes a long time to heal up. Like, it was November, I remember, and it was still like that. Like, it was early fall when it happened, and 2 months later it was still like that. At a certain point, because like the bandage had to be changed every few days. At a certain point, I looked under to see what it was like, and I swear you could see, like, I don't know, the primordial ooze that was forming new skin. Which I don't think is how skin works. I think what I saw and my teenage brain didn't process correctly was just the neosporin. But I swear there was like goopy, clear crud in my wound that had feeling. It was the new, that I think that like my teenage brain thought was the new flesh of my finger. And it was like in some kind of non-Newtonian state. I remember specifically because my mom had a business trip. And she was going to be gone a week. But she didn't trust any of her 3 kids to be home alone. Not her recently become 17-year-old, not her 15-year-old, or her 13-year-old. So my sister and I went to our Grandma Cindy's. My brother went to our dad's. I don't think any of the 3 of us did any homework, but like we were supposed to. Like, that is a week. I tried to read The Two Towers, and I still was like, I'm just gonna go back to playing New Vegas. I do remember though, that was the year that was also when the trailer for Skyrim happened at the Video Game Awards. And I saw it on a TV at my grandma's house. You see, my grandma had... never mind. But... I can't remember how I played video games. I literally think I was playing video games like this, with my finger down. So yeah, my middle finger. And like, the human body is remarkable. It is one of the most durable yet fragile things on the planet. Because, goddamn... This, I swear to you, it used to cover my whole finger, or like the whole half of this finger, and it is reduced to, smaller than the tip of a pencil eraser. Like, even my fingerprint has grown back. That is incredible. Who knows? Maybe by the time I'm 60, if I make it that long, a lot of you are putting bets on me not making it to 40. It'll be completely healed. I doubt that, though. I do feel a little bit of scar tissue under the surface of the skin. I'm actually not even the only one in my family this has happened to. Like, a hand injury of some import has happened to. My dad, when he was in the Army, he took some substances that were used to keep him awake and help him keep fit while he was in the Army. And those substances might have encouraged him to do some things he is not proud of. When he was in Colorado, I assume this is out of statute of limitations, he took a grenade simulator, basically a firecracker, and was going to throw it in the hotel lobby. But he was either drunk or under the influence of some kind of substance. He literally accidentally threw the pin, and the grenade was still in his hand. It blew up in his hand. Luckily, he had it open palmed. And it turned his ring finger, the wedding ring finger, I think it's the left hand that's the wedding, yeah. It, destroyed this part of his skin. And when it healed, it got the scar tissue formed a gigantic lump. So that when he did get married, he actually had to get his ring specially fitted. Yeah. He has actually had that scar tissue removed recently. Part of it, which I actually think is, a pretty decent part of the healing process for his alcoholism. Something he did in his misspent youth, he's finally letting go of, literally. What are you chewing on, Clark? He's got a pig ear. So, to anyone in the audience who's in shop class or any kind of woodworking field, if it's not already obvious, let the blade stop, okay? Or at least wear chainmail gloves when you're woodworking. Don't be like me. Don't be like Royce. I think and I really should count myself lucky because this is one of the worst injuries I ever had. My cousin got tackled in football so hard, his arm broke in a bunch of places, and he needed pins in his arm to keep it in place while it healed. Anytime he talks about that, I have to be like, stop, because it's just, oh my God, he's looking at me making an ass of myself and being like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, just, when I say that I am an empathetic person, I don't just mean like I can sympathize with people. No, I mean when someone describes something to me in detail, especially like a painful experience, I get phantom pains and I have to be like, stop. It's not a fun experience. And but I don't know. That's the difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathizing with someone means you feel bad for them. Empathizing with someone means that you feel their pain. But I've never broken a bone, knock on wood. Never had a major surgery, knock on wood. Never had an illness that was so bad that I got hospitalized, knock on wood. Though I'm sure some of you could argue, well, you're obese, you have diabetes, those are definitely things that are severe illnesses that you really need to get looked at. In fact, the fact that you aren't eating grass and celery right now, wheatgrass and celery right now, is proof that you are going to die before you turn 35. That's you, that's what you sound like. Comments. Some comments. Aw. There you are. Oh, he's of course. I got a breakfast burrito after work, and he's apparently licking them. He's only interested in the remains of that. Oh, yes, hello, Clark. I love you, my sweet little boy. He played with my little cousin so much the other day that he got so tired that my brother had to carry him to the car. I'd take you for a walk, but it's snowing. You don't like the snow. Oh. I saw him eating a turd one of his own turds the other day, so I'm not too enthused about him licking me. Oh, hey. Well, this boy needs some attention, and I've held you all long enough. You all have a good day. This is Royce Miller. I'm out. Yeah.